I'm going to take this opportunity to speak and share with you some prophetic utterances concerning things that the Lord has revealed to me. I would not think that those who know me will be finding it strange or bizarre that an apostle gives prophecy. An apostle prophesies. And that is why in the scriptures we find the Bible describing apostles as apostles and prophets. I would like to start there, Ephesians chapter 4.
Yes.
Ephesians chapter 4. No, let's read Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19.
Now
Let's
therefore,
read Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19, and we shall read Ephesians chapter 3, verse 3 to 6. Yes.
now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints
Yes.
and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets,
Apostles and prophets.
Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone.
So we can end there. If you are new to the scriptures, you might think that Paul is saying the church is built upon the foundation of number 1, apostles, number 2, prophets. But that's not what he meant. Apostles are called apostles and prophets.
Yes.
The apostles are prophets on account of Revelation 19, verse number 10. This is what makes apostles prophets. And I feel it is fit to worship him.
Yes.
John was talking about his attempt to bow down to an angel. And the angel said unto me, see, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, John. If you are desiring to worship,
Yes.
you can't worship an angel. Worship God.
Yes.
For the testimony of Jesus
Amen.
is the spirit of prophecy.
Yes.
Because the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Apostles are custodians of the testimony of Jesus. This is why they are described as apostles and prophets. Ephesians 3 to 6.
How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery,
Yes,
as I wrote afore in few words,
whereby, yes,
whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ,
yes,
which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men,
yes,
as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit.
and there is no reason and room to speculate whether Jesus Christ revealed this mystery to apostles and also to prophets, because there are no prophets that teach the mystery of Christ in the scriptures. We don't have any, not even a single scripture where there was a prophet to whom the mysteries of Christ were revealed. So this is something that is conclusive, and this is something that is beyond reproach.
Amen.
Apostles are called apostles and prophets for two reasons. Reason number 1, they share the mystery of Christ, the testimony of Christ, which Revelation 19 verse 10 describes as the spirit of prophecy. But the second thing is apostles, it is in their habit that whenever God wants, he reveals to them matters to do with this world, but that are relevant to the church. And this is something that one must never forget. Prophecy is not telling you what is bothering you, what is troubling you, or what is interesting to you.
No.
Prophecy is speaking what is of interest to God and based on scripture and sound understanding of scripture. The only thing that is of interest to God in this world is the church. So whenever we give prophecy, even of things that happen in erstwhile places, we are doing that because those things, for some known reasons to God, they are of interest to the church. Anything that affects the church, and when I say the church, I'm referring to true believers.
Oh, yeah.
So we can give prophecies concerning issues of a political nature, issues of an economic nature, issues of a social nature. They may talk about Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. They can talk about Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria. And you are wondering, what has God and his church and his prophets to do with the Syrian politics? Because the politics of Syria can affect the church of Israel. And this is why Elisha the prophet had to give a prophecy concerning the death of Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria. And yet God was never a God of Syria as far as the scriptures are concerned. So be mindful of these things. So apart from testifying about Jesus, did the apostles give real world prophecies? The answer is yes. Let us look at 2 scriptures, maybe 3, to have a conclusive report. Remember, a matter cannot be established in the absence of 2 or 3 witnesses. It's a biblical law. The first issue is it's Acts chapter 11. We are going to check if there is any prophecy that was given in the church. Verse 27.
Yes,
And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch.
Yes,
And there stood up one of them named Agabus,
Agabus the prophet.
and signified by the Spirit that there should be a great death throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar.
All right, can we have the NASB rendering of verse 28? I am hoping that it is going to replace the word death with the word drought or famine to make it very clear to those who struggle. Verse 28, yes.
one of them named Agabus stood up and began to indicate by the Spirit that there would certainly be a great famine all over the world.
Agabus, pastors, Agabus made a prophecy,
Yes.
and his prophecy was that there's going to be starvation throughout the whole world.
Yes.
Not throughout the whole church, throughout the whole world.
Yes.
And he says, and this famine took place in the reign of Claudius Caesar, the emperor of Rome. Kuchaita nzara pasi rose, mashoko aAgabasa. Agabasa anga asiri maapostora, asi akataura prophecy yanga iri kunze kwechechi, yaiafekta vari mukati nevari kunze zvese.
Yes.
Let's look at the apostles' prophecy in Acts chapter 27, verse number 10. Paul was in a ship and his voyage was destined to Rome. There was a tempestuous situation.
Yes.
Vociferous winds blew against the direction of the ship, and there was so much terror because the mariners and the passengers were afraid. But before this winds came, the apostle had spoken about it. Verse number 9.
And said unto them,
Okay,
says,
we are in Acts 27. Let us read from verse number 7.
and when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce we had come over against Nidus,
Nidus.
the wind not suffering us,
Yes.
we sailed under Crete,
You sailed under Crete.
over against Salmon,
What else happened?
and hardly passing it, came unto a place which is called the Fair Heavens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lasea.
Last year,
Now when much time was spent,
when much time was spent,
and when sailing was now dangerous,
when sailing was now dangerous,
because the fast was now already past,
yes,
Paul admonished them, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the lading and ship, but also of our lives.
say, I foresee that this voyage will be with much damage and will be with hurt. Not only concerning our cargo, but our own lives are going to be under a serious threat.
Yes.
Did they listen to Paul?
Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul.
So eventually, you can go and read Acts 27 in your own time. The ship was indeed with much damage and hurt to such an extent that they almost all died. They almost all drowned. But God saved them. And Paul gave another prophecy after this one. He gave another prophecy because when the winds started, they then concluded that they were all going to die. But Paul, being an apostle and prophet, he only didn't prophesy that the ship was going to go into a shipwreck and they are going to lose all their cargo.
Yes.
And their lives are going to be on the line. When the danger came, Paul gave a second prophecy in verse 25.
Yes. Wherefore says, Be of good cheer, for I believe God, that it shall be even as it was told me. Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country.
All right, go back to verse 21.
But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst
When they
of
saw
them.
that they were facing danger, they stopped eating. They thought that their fasting would save them.
Yes.
And Paul had to encourage them to eat. He saw that they were now in danger of dying of starvation
Yes.
because of the boisterous winds that was threatening the ship. He says,
You should have hearkened unto me.
mungadai makanditeerera. So I'm going to say these words today. I am going to say, you should have hearkened unto me.
Yes.
And there are people who are going to say, who are you? The answer is, I am Paul.
Amen.
Everyone in the ship almost died. But had they listened to Paul, the apostle and prophet, in verse number 10, they could have waited a little bit
Yes.
so that the wind would pass.
Yes.
But the Bible says the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than what Paul had said. And so they left. They said, there's nothing that this guy sees. He's a small boy. We are in charge. Let's move with the ship. Then they almost died.
Yes.
When the winds approached, they saw that they were going to die. They stopped eating. Paul had to say, please, let's eat. This time you will not die of drowning. You will die of hunger. So before he spoke to them again with the second prophecy,
Yes.
he had to caution them.
Yes.
He says, you should have listened to me
Yes.
and not have loosed from Crete and to have gained this harm and loss.
Loss.
I hope Pastor Chuma will remind me about verse 21.
Okay.
How does it happen, believers, that an apostle speaks with so much sarcasm like this and say people gained harm and loss? How can you gain loss? Pastor Irengwi, have you ever gained loss?
No.
The moment they ignored Paul and started their voyage, they gained harm and they gained loss.
Hey.
Not listening to the men of God, you will gain harm
Yes.
and you will gain loss.
Yes.
But Paul was not blowing his own horn to say, I told you so. He wanted to give another prophecy,
Yes.
which he hoped they would listen to. You may have ignored the first one.
Yes.
May you not ignore the second one.
Yes.
Verse 22.
And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the sheep.
Let's see what happened. Why are you saying that?
For there stood by me this night the angel of God, whose I am, and whom I serve,
Yes.
saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, God has given thee all them that sail with thee. Wherefore says, Be of good cheer, for I believe God, that it shall be even as it was told me.
Now, Pastor Chuma, can you read again verse 24?
Saying, Fear not, Paul.
The angel spoke to Paul, the angel of God.
Yes.
Of course, Paul is of God, and Paul serves God. According to verse 23, the angel says, Fear not. Yes, Paul.
Thou must be brought before Caesar.
Yes.
And lo,
And look, Paul,
God has given thee all them that sail with thee. Hey,
could you believe it?
hey.
That sometimes God will save people only for the sake of his servant.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
God gave all the people in that ship to Paul for his reason. Not even one of them died.
Hey.
Not for the sake of the owner of the ship, nor of the centurion, nor the captain of the ship, but because of Paul. God gave to Paul all that sailed with him. So remember, this was a second prophecy. The winds were not yet done. The people were refusing to eat. And so Paul said, let's eat, please. We can't starve to death.
Yes.
So he had to give them hope. Don't continue to abstain from eating, hoping and being afraid that you are going to die.
Yes.
You are not going to die. I saw the angel of the Lord. It stood with me. It told me that God has given me all of you guys. So you are safe in my hands. Mapiwa kwandiri na mngari. Hapana anofa idya zvenyu. Upenyu uchapfuurira mberi. But remember, this is not his first prophecy. This was his second. The first prophecy is in verse 9 and 10.
Yes.
The second prophecy is in verse 21 to verse number 25.
Yes.
So the apostle gave a prophecy concerning what was going to happen. And when it happened and they did not listen to him, the apostle also said, well, you will not die, but we are going to lose the ship. So the ship was wrecked. The men gained harm and the men gained loss. He went home with zero. He left with a ship. He ended up with nothing in his hands. But this is where I would like to ask, how does God expect us to receive prophecy? Because a simulation would say, so if the centurion had listened to Paul's prophecy in verse 10, then how could we have known that the prophecy was going to be true? Because he said, I perceive that this ship will be too hurt and with much damage. Because they did not take heed of the prophecy,
Yes.
the prophecy came to pass. How does God expect us to listen to prophecy? Because if they listened to Paul, they would perhaps believe that Paul was not really a true man of God. Maybe we just wasted time by staying longer at Crete. PaCrete takagara nguva yakareba, tapuwa warning napo. Saka izvezvi zvinobatsira here kuudzwa chiprofita chobva chazorega kuitika nekuti wateedzera zvachiri kutaura. Unozozvitenda here kuti chaka chiri chechokwadi, nekuti kana ukanga wachiteerera dhenja yayambirwa iya haichaitika. Muri kuzviona? Saka dai vakanga vateerera Pauro vaimbomira paCrete zvishoma, sezvaakataura paverse 21. In verse 21 he says, you should have listened to me and not left from Crete. Mungadai musina kubva paCrete, dai tisina kusafa zvese zvatasafa izvi. Mubvunzo wawe kuti Mwari aida here kuti vateerere chiprofita, nekuti dai vakachiteerera chiprofita dai zvakanga zvaprofitwa zvisina kuzoitika. Unogona here kutenda chiprofita chisina kuitika nekuti chakateererwa? How many among us can obey a prophecy and believe it because it didn't happen? Because it came as a warning, and once you heed the warning, the dangers prophesied are ameliorated. We ameliorate the danger by heeding the prophecy. But if we don't heed the prophecy, the danger will come to pass. And the second question is, what is the best case scenario for the prophet? Is Paul happy that the prophecy has come to pass, even though it brought harm and loss to the mariners? The question is, what kind of a man of God is the man of God? If I give a prophecy that if you don't listen to this, you are going to die, you don't listen and you die, does that make me happy that I'm a true man of God? The best case scenario for a true prophet is to see the people heeding the prophecy and avoiding the prophesied danger. The prophecy warns of coming danger. Those who listen will be saved. And everything that I have said now, we don't have time. You may want to go and read Ezekiel 33. This is where it is. The man of God is a watchman. When he prophesies, he is warning. He finds more joy when the people listen to his warning and avoid the danger. Notwithstanding, that is prophecy, then will not come to pass. But the question is, will you not then call him a false prophet if what he said is going to happen, it does not happen? Because you have actually heeded his warning. What is the best case scenario for you? Would you rather die and see that the prophecy comes to pass? Or do you rather listen to the warning of the prophet and believe that he was true? Let's do a tete-a-tete on this. We are going to do a tete-a-tete shortly. I would like us to talk about this. Kuti changa chiri nani panguva iyi ndechipi? Dai vakateerera chiprofita, chingadai chisina kuitika. Zviri nani here kuti chiprofita chiitike ufe, kuti chingoprova kuti munhu waMwari. Kana kuti chiprofita ukachiteerera hachiitike, iko kusaitika kwacho kuchitoburitsa uchokwadi hwacho. Kureva kuti panda kuongororwa ipapo. Zvingani zvinoyambirwa naMwari zvisingade kukuvadza vanhu, zvichida kutoti vanhu vanenge vachinge vayambirwa vagopukunyuka panyatwa iri kuuya. Zvinonyatwa ikasauya manje yaprofitwa, vanenge vachitaura vanobva vati anga anyepa akanga aprofita. Another example is when Joseph was warned by the angel in the dream to run into Egypt to save Jesus from being killed by Herod. The question is, the fact that Joseph ran into Egypt and saw what Herod had planned to do did not happen. Does that prove that the angel's warning was false? Was it better for Joseph not to heed the warning and have Herod kill Jesus? And so the life of Jesus is cut short, but that proves that the prophet, the angel, was correct. What is your rather preferred option?
Yes.
Pastor Mungade.
maikuteerera chiprofita kuri nani.
But unogona kutotanga kufunga kuti vaitaura zvemusoro wavo. Because I can warn you,
Yes.
man of God, this is my boyfriend who has proposed to marry me. I say to you, don't marry this man. This marriage will not last. You don't give heed to the warning. So you marry the man.
Yes.
And after 2 years, he runs away from you. Do I feel happy that my prophecy came to pass? Or I should be disappointed that you didn't heed the warning? And so if you heed the warning, you don't marry the man, and that causes my prophecy to not come to pass. Which one is a preferred approach to the words of the prophet? That's really a mouthful, right?
Yes.
We must consider these things.
Yes.
So the man of God must desist from wanting to see his prophecies come to pass all the time. Some prophecies are warning, and the man of God must pray for the people to heed the warning. That way his prophecy won't come to pass, but the people's lives are saved. Huh? Pastor?
Amai.
Vakanga vanditi ndikaroorwa naye anozondisiya, zvino ndakabva ndangoteerera zvangu, but handina short zvazvo zviri zvechokwadi, kozvo zvaane 2 years ndisati ndaroorwa, pamwe ndakutonoda ndakatoroorwa zvangu zvaitove nani, but pamwe ndicharoorwa zvangu tongoti ndamwari, but kuti ndinyatsoti ndezvechokwadi handichazviona mushe, because handizivi kuti zvaizoitika here dai ndakanga ndaroorwa naye. Martin uya aizonditiza here zvechokwadi. Saka woroorwa here naMartin wozozvibatira pamunhu senhingirikini sefodya. Pastor, chiri nani chii?
Chiri nani kuteerera chiprofita, hama dzangu.
Kuti pane dhibhura apa usafambe nepo, wonzvenga, worarama. Chiprofita chinotuka pfuura nepo unobatwa. Zvino zvawakanzvenga zvakanga zvarayirwa naMwari hazvina kuitika. Saka muprofita akanyepa here. All right. This is something worth considering.
Yes.
But these are the prophetic insights that the Lord gave to me. Some time ago, I gave an indication that the Lord spoke to me about Tanzania. And I said I was desisting. I was told to not speak about what I saw concerning the late Tanzanian President John Pombe Magufuli, and how he died during the COVID era. And I had committed to talk about the Islamic religion, which I would do. I will do so. I haven't been given clearance to do so. I've got all the materials to talk about Islam. I've hinted so many times about it, but I will come with a special service to warn Africa about the corrosive nature of the Islamic religion. So I was given an insight, and I wish to share this with you. There is a conspiracy in high places. There is a conspiracy in high places to Islamicize Africa as a continent. Because I am not a historian, I am a man of God. I would have spent probably an hour or two talking to you about how Africa is already divided and was divided many centuries ago by Islam. Those who study history will tell you that North Africa was not populated by Muslims at the beginning of the human settlements. Places like Nigeria, Somalia, Morocco, Mauritius, places like Niger, Central African Republic, Burkina Faso, Mali, which are now Islamic nations today. Not officially, but they are becoming Islamic nations. They were not populated by people who subscribed to the Islam or Islamic religion. Those who study history will tell you that let me give you a short orientation. I want to talk about Malcolm X, and I want to talk about Louis Farrakhan. You know these names? This Louis Farrakhan, you can Google him. He speaks so much about black consciousness and a little bit of Pan-Africanism. He's an African American. And he took over from Malcolm X. What people do not understand is that these Muslim theologians and activists like Louis Farrakhan sound so much like they have a pro-African ideology that seeks to awaken Africa to its full potential and resist bullying by Europe and America. But deep inside Islam, which Louis Farrakhan is a subject to, you realize that in the 6th century, where Prophet Muhammad was alive, he lived in the 6th, 7th century. He is the one who pioneered black slavery. The Americans and the Europeans are not the pioneers of slave trade. Slave trade was started by Islam. Muslims are the first people to buy Africans as commodities. And so I find it highly disingenuous that a Muslim preacher like Louis Farrakhan is the man who is regarded as a highly esteemed statesman and Pan-Africanist and black consciousness activist to awaken Africans in America to demand reparations for the slave trade that they went through for almost 400 years in the United States of America. I find it hypocritical and disingenuous. Slave trade that Europe and America practiced against Africa, they learned it from Islam. So Islam is not a messianic religion to the black people. And I don't know if you know that the great boxer Muhammad Ali is not his true name.
No, it's not.
Muhammad Ali was so brainwashed by Islam that he abandoned his own name and he took an Arabic name to identify with Islam.
His name is Cassius Clay.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor,
Hey.
for sharing with us Muhammad Ali's name. So even Malcolm X, he changed his name. All these black activists who are in Islam, the moment they become prominent in their activism, they choose to take an Arabic name to spite those who are against the Islamic ideologies. If you are a Muslim and you are a black and African, you can't talk to me about the evil and wicked practices of America and Europe in the slave trade era, because the founder of Islam was the man who hated Africans the most, to the extent that Muhammad described Africans as devils. He said the devil is black in color. That's what Muhammad said. And this is not a lie. This is not a formulation of my mind. Dig it deep. I'm going to do a program to expose Islam very soon. And so Islam has no place to talk about the liberation of Africa when they are the first ones to conquer Africa. Now the Arabs which are in North Africa started to declare that they don't feel African. But did you know that Egypt was not a Muslim nation not so long ago? Egypt worshipped its own African gods. The Ras, the Osiris, the Omans. Those are the Egyptian gods, and many of them. When did Egypt become a Muslim nation? This is a brief history that so many of our black Africans who are joining Islam are not sure of. Islam does not see Africans as equal with the Arabs. This is a deep-rooted racism inside Islam, which they don't share in the public. But Africans which work in Saudi Arabia, Africans which work in United Arab Emirates, Africans which work in Qatar, they can tell you the Arabs are equally very racist, just like the Americans, if not worse. They don't see us as equal human beings. As I speak to you now, our sisters from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Malawi, they are treated as sex slaves in certain parts of the Arabic world. But these things are hidden under the carpet. But they are very known, believe me, they are very known. This one aside, I want to go to my prophecy. It is connected to the Islamicization of Africa. Africa has to wake up because in high places of the Arab nation, the Islam nation, they have a conquest in mind. They want the whole world to be dominated by the Islamic religion. And they are taking one African nation at a time. As I speak to you now, they are targeting 3 nations in the next 2 years. They are targeting Kenya, which is already heavily populated by Islamicized black Africans. They are targeting Mozambique. They are targeting Malawi. There are Muslim people in all these countries, but they want to make it an Islamic state. They want the structures of government to be held by bona fide Islamic stalwarts. So you understand that there's a difference between a nation with Muslims and an Islamic state. If you want to understand an Islamic state, go and study Afghanistan, where they say Sharia is supreme to the constitution of the land. So their law is based on Sharia. The parliament does not pass any law that is against Sharia law. That is where they are going. If you want to understand the wickedness of Islam, go and study how women are living in Afghanistan today. They are not allowed to go to school. In Afghanistan, a woman is not allowed to visit a supermarket without the company of a man. A 40-year-old woman needs to go with a 3-year-old boy for that journey to be sanctioned by the state. That's Sharia law. Because of business endeavors and business strategies, Arabic countries like the United Arab Emirates, they have not adopted the Sharia law completely. And that's why they are now described as liberated Islamic states. They are now liberal. They are described as liberal Islamic states, where they talk about Sharia, but they don't practice it to the letter. And this is why women are allowed to drive. Women are allowed to fly alone. In Saudi Arabia, a woman, in Afghanistan, a woman cannot go to the airport and produce a passport alone and say, I am flying to Zimbabwe. She'll be arrested. She needs to be in the company of a man. She needs a letter from her husband that I have allowed my wife to fly. It was a few years ago that women were allowed to apply for a driver's license in Saudi Arabia. Less than 10 years ago. All these decades, women could not drive in Saudi Arabia. That's Islam for you. So, the same is happening in Tanzania. They want to make Tanzania the first East African nation to be fully Islamicized. Because of its size and influence in East Africa, they are going to easily conquer DRC, Kenya, and subsequently Zambia. And once Zambia becomes an Islamic state, Zimbabwe is on the cards. You understand? And this is problematic. It is problematic because Islam is hostile to Christianity. Islam is hostile to the gospel of Jesus. And this is why I am giving this prophecy today. If you want to know the wickedness of Islam, go to Nigeria and you find out how many Christians are gunned down by Islamic extremists in the name of Muhammad, their prophet. So if you are a Christian or if you worship God, like us, we are not Christians, but we are worshippers of God. We are believers. We are children of God. We are saints. We are disciples of Jesus Christ. Islam is a danger to us. Because if Zimbabwe is populated by 20% Islamic followers or Muslims, we are not going to be safe. We are going to be gunned down during the church service, like what is happening in Nigeria. Go and study Nigeria. It will give you a case study of the dangers of Islam to a Christian country or a country that worships God. If Islam was a religion that could work well with other religions, we could not have a problem with them. Even though we know their doctrine is lost and false, we could not have a problem with them. The problem with Islam is it is a hostile religion that is so militant, militarized, and it is against the thriving of other worshippers. And by the way, don't be deceived by Muslims when they say Salam Alaikum, Islam is a religion of peace. It's a lie. I can debate any Muslim any day of the week, any day of the year. Find me one, and I can prove that Islam is not a peaceful religion. In the Quran, there are scriptures that authorize Muslims to kill people of the book. And the book that the surahs talk about is the Bible. According to the Quran, the Muslim Bible. If Muslims go into a Christian country, they are allowed to claim that they can live with the Christians until there are more Muslims than Christians.
Okay.
And then they turn around and say, we don't want you to practice your religion here. Mm-hmm. It's allowed. Muhammad said you can deceive them until you are sure you can outnumber them. Mm-hmm. And according to the Islamic religion, Muslims, when they try to recruit Christians to join Islam, and if Christians are not willing, they should die, kill them, or they should submit and pay what is in the Arabic language called jizya, which is a tribute, which means all Christians in Nigeria are being killed for that reason. Right. They are failing and refusing to submit to Islam and pay jizya. And let me tell you, if you are a Nigerian, you are going to continue to be massacred until you get rid of Islam in your countries. Yes. This is an analysis and a doctrinal perspective on why we don't need Islam in Africa. Mm-hmm. The countries that are declared as dominated by Islam in North Africa, the Muslims that brought Islam in North Africa, they did not come as missionaries. They came as merchantmen. Mm-hmm. So North Africa was taken over by Islamic merchantmen, and they blended into the society. And now we have Muslims as leaders, a Muslim president throughout North Africa. It's a strategy. Mm-hmm. They want every African country to be governed by Islamic lawmakers and an Islamic president, a Muslim president. And this is why Nigeria is failing to deal with jihad and Islamic terrorism. Mm-hmm. It's because part of the parliament and part of the cabinet are Muslims. Mm-hmm. So the MPs that are in the Nigerian parliament, when they go to the mosque, they agree that what they are doing is right. They are fighting battles for Allah to eradicate resistant Christians. Mm. But when they come to parliament, they say, we are going to deal with extremism. Terrorism is not right. All the killing is bad. They condemn the killing in the government offices, but they exalt the killings when they visit the mosque, because the murder of Christians is sanctioned in the Quran. Right. But because Christians don't know the Quran, they are lied by Muslims that Islam is a religion of peace. It's a lie. Bring me any Muslim, I can tell you that there is no peace that comes from Islam. So the Islamic terrorism is not extremism, which extremists are just bound to do because they love to kill. You see, when you look at Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, and other terrorist groups, the Islamic leaders will tell you, these are not part of us, they are extremists. It's not true. The truth is, violence is an ideology in the Quran. Yes. It's a component of the Quran. A few years ago, there's a video, you can look for it on the internet. I think it's a man in Morocco, I can't remember the nation. His son converted to Christianity. And the man beat up his son real bad, and the son ran away. The father then convinced his son to come back home and have a discussion. And the story says the father tried to convince his son to come back to Islam, to walk away from Christianity. The son said, Father, this religion you are part of is false. Mm-hmm. I want to remain in Christianity. The father took a knife and killed his own son. Mm-hmm. And the father was not arrested. Mm-hmm. Because if you read the Quran, The punishment for apostasy is death. It's there in the Quran. If you are a Muslim today and you say you no longer want to be a Muslim, the punishment for leaving Islam is death. The reason why Muslims are not killed in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, it is because they are not yet a majority. So they pretend to be peaceful until they become a majority. Go into Iran right now. Women are hanged by the government for not wearing a hijab. Covering her head, it's a death penalty in Iran. This is Islam for you. And I want you to know that Muslims are very powerful. They are very resourceful. They can actually start hunting me to kill me for what I am saying today. They don't believe in a civil dialogue where we have an intellectual discussion to establish superior logic. They don't want. Whenever they can't meet and match the ideology or the discussion at the end, they resort to violence. So if you discuss with a Muslim and you show him where he is wrong, the next thing is a Muslim will want to kill you. That's what they are taught by their imams in the masjid. I wanted to give you a background of why I am warning Africa not to allow the Islamic movement to Islamicize the rest of Africa. The peace that Southern Africa has enjoyed for the past 50 years, it will not take more than 5 years to reverse the gains of peaceful leadership and governance. Now, can you tell me today, apart from the word Islam, what else is the reason why there is incessant and continuous violence and terrorism in Nigeria? Who guns down Catholic priests in the middle of a mass? Why are university students being burned alive for speaking against Prophet Muhammad? If Muhammad is so great, why can't he punish those who blaspheme him himself?
Yes.
Why are you defending a dead man? Is not Muhammad dead? Is not his grave in Saudi Arabia? If he is great, why can't he fight his own blasphemers?
Yeah, that's right.
Christians do not kill those who oppose Jesus. We preach to them with love. We correct them with love. We preach to them the finished works of Christ. We don't plan to buy guns and gun down those that speak against Jesus. So Christianity is a soft religion. It will not thrive when it is surrounded by the aggressive nature of Islam. If you are a Methodist, if you are an Anglican, if you are a Salvation Army, you must know that the moment we have 40% Muslims in Zimbabwe, you are not going to be safe. They will change their language. They will start to spit on your face.
Yes.
And they will say, you are an infidel. That is what Muslims call Christians. Infidels. And what it means is deserving of death. That is what it means. I'm calling upon all African leaders to look into this matter. Islam is a terroristic religion. It thrives on shedding blood on everyone who does not subscribe to it. How many Christian churches are in Saudi Arabia? How many Christian churches are in Islamic Republic of Iran? How many Christian churches are in Kuwait? How many Christian churches are registered in the United Arab Emirates. Why do we allow Muslim Islamic mosques to make noise in our capital cities? Try to preach in the streets of Saudi Arabia and see whether you last 30 minutes. But when they go to their lunch hour prayers, they are allowed to hoist their public speakers outside the mosque. And they say their prayer and cause noise pollution to everyone, including those who don't subscribe to Islam. Why are our presidents allowing that? Our presidents are sleeping. The snake is getting into the pillow. Are we going to wake up alive tomorrow morning? This is a warning. I have put this warning aside. Let me come back to Tanzania. This agenda to Islamicize the whole continent of Africa is the reason why John Pombe Magufuli died. God spoke to me about John Magufuli more than 2 years ago, just about the time that he died. I will be very unpopular by saying these words, but they are true. I am a man of God. You may not believe it now. Maybe 100 years when I'm gone, you'll believe it. John Magufuli, the president of Tanzania, was assassinated. The woman that is president of Tanzania today is a stooge. She's working for a mafia that gives her orders. She's governing on behalf of a very powerful cartel. And the agenda is to turn every square inch of Tanzania into an Islamic territory. Now, let me say something to you. If you know something about Tanzania, you will know that by the time John Pombe Magufuli died, the most prominent opposition leader in Tanzania was in exile. John Pombe Magufuli was not a saint. He was almost a dictator. He hunted and killed his opponents, just like most of our African leaders. He was terrorizing his opposition. But one thing that he had, which is the reason why I'm giving this prophecy, he was actually a stumbling block to the Islamic agenda in Tanzania. So they saw him as a stumbling block. They took him out. John Magufuli was assassinated for the Islamic agenda. The first thing that happened upon his burial is that the new president, this woman, she brought the opposition leader and said, we are going to allow you to come back. Let bygones be bygones. So she became a saint to the opposition leader in Tanzania. But what people of Tanzania need to ask is what happened to opposition politics since this woman came in. The Islamic system in Tanzania is diffusing all opposition efforts to make sure that this woman does not find a challenger. Because this woman is only a puppet of the Islamic leaders who are in charge of business in Tanzania. Business in Tanzania has become more powerful than politics. So the business leaders in Tanzania are Islamic leaders as well. They want their business empires to flourish. And a president who is not a Muslim is going to change policies. But I want to say this. The reason why I'm giving this prophecy as well, it is because Tanzania, the social fabric in Tanzania is divided. There is a significant population in Tanzania of people who are not Muslims, but they are increasingly becoming a minority. Some of them are now joining Islam, because when you are a Muslim, it's easy to get a job now in Tanzania.
Okay.
Now, I want those who are in Tanzania to say I am lying. But from the time this woman came into power, Tanzanians, especially those who are in major cities, in Dar es Salaam, and other cities, you can agree with me that the state is now heavily militarized. Tanzanians are now very afraid to criticize the government because this woman and her handlers have hired more people to become secret security agents to silence and threaten the population. The people of Tanzania are under a besiegement by their own government. Just like the situation is in Zimbabwe, where you don't even have freedom to say, but this Minister of Finance is bogus. How can he introduce a new currency after every new currency? You can't criticize the Minister of Finance in a public transport. Someone in the bus will say, I will kill you. They've hired more and more state security agents to terrorize and intimidate the population so that the people won't criticize the government.
Yeah.
It was easy to criticize the government in the days of John Pombe Magufuli than it is now. It was easy to even plan to demonstrate than it is now. It is now more difficult. And to those opposition leaders which were bribed by this Islamic movement in Tanzania, I want to say shame on you, but I want to also warn you that you are going to perish one by one. You are a betrayer to the people of Tanzania. This animal called Islam is not developing Tanzania. I've been to Tanzania more than 10 times so far in my life. Go to Zanzibar. The only beauty in Zanzibar is of 5-star hotels built by the shores and by the beaches of the sea. Zanzibar is like a shanty town. It's a town made of shacks. There is no proper town planning. There is no proper infrastructure. It's embarrassing. I said to myself when I visited it for the first time, why is this place so famous? The beaches are beautiful. The infrastructure is terrible. As I speak to you now, how many airplane crashes have happened in Tanzania in the past 5 years? As we speak right now, as recent as last month, there's a plane crash that happened in Kenya, and there's another one that happened in Tanzania a few months ago. Arabs do not build Africa just like the other continents, other colonizers. They steal money from Africa. They go and build their own countries. The Arabs that are running businesses in Tanzania are not building Tanzania. Go to Dar es Salaam and tell me that Dar es Salaam qualifies to be called a city. It's a slum, in my opinion.
Okay.
It is supposed to be a city 50 years ago, not in 2024. There's no town planning at all. Some of the buildings are falling.
Hey.
So I know what I'm talking about. Tanzanians, did you know that your former president did not die a natural death? He was assassinated by a rogue movement, which is like an octopus, spreading its tentacles slowly and gradually. Its desire is to conquer Africa. We are all going to be living in Islamic states. if we are not careful. But I also want to give a prophecy concerning Tanzania. A few years from now, there is going to be a very, very tumultuous situation in Tanzania, because God is going to raise people who are going to use all means necessary to rise against the Islamicization of Tanzania, because it is against the people of Tanzania. Some of them are being forced by economic conditions to join Islam. Some of them are forced by social conditions to join Islam. If you go into so many high-density locations in Tanzania, in urban areas, the only beautiful thing in their cities is a mosque. The clinics are terrible. The roads are terrible. The houses are terrible. The schools are terrible. The only beautiful thing you find is a mosque. That's where you see Islamic colonization.
Okay.
They build very beautiful mosques. They neglect the needs of the people, from which they are milking the money that have made them rich. So many sons of Africa have sold their souls to join hands with these Islamic cult and mafia leaders by subjugating their own people, oppressing their own people, selling out their own people. God is aware of what is happening.
Yes.
There is no Messiah that will come outside Tanzania. God will raise a deliverer from among your people. There are going to be young men and young women who are going to come up with a very, very strong political organization. And that organization is going to say, if we need to go to war, we shall go to war to free our nation from this parasitic movement that is not developing the country. Tanzania is not getting better. It's getting worse. It's this Islamic cult, Islamic gang, it's Islamic mafia group that is getting rich. The nation is getting worse. I told you I've been there more than 10 times. I know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to talk about the shady deals they are doing with the Chinese companies to build substandard infrastructure. The expansion of the Julius Nyerere International Airport, I've been there many times. That's not an international airport. That's an embarrassment of an investment. But what pains us is the money that the ordinary Tanzanians are going to pay back to China for a substandard project at the instigation of sold out leaders. Like I told you, John Magufuli was not a saint. He's a signatory to some of those shady deals with China.
All right.
And we shouldn't blame China for all this damage. Our leaders are the ones who signed those unequal deals with China. And they know that these deals are not good for the country. They are getting brown envelopes in offshore accounts from the Chinese government. These are corruption-based deals. They enrich the political leaders. They impoverish the nation. And that is regrettable. But I want to say to you, one day, someone who is going to be aggrieved is going to expose the truth concerning the death of John Pombe Magufuli. He didn't die a natural death. And the woman that is governing Tanzania right now, she knows everything that I have said so far. What I have said is true. But our people in Tanzania are sleeping. They need to wake up. All right. I have the second prophecy that I want to give to you now. The second prophecy concerns the Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
6 months or so ago, just before Prince Charles, was it 6 months? Maybe more than 6 months. Before Prince Charles was coronated to become King Charles, after the death of the Queen, the Lord showed me that there is going to be havoc coming into the palace by way of a disease. And I didn't share that prophecy until the Lord spoke to me again a few days ago, after Princess Catherine of Wales, the wife of Prince William, came out and shared with information that she was diagnosed of cancer recently. And that is what happened with King Charles. He also openly disclosed that he's suffering from a cancer. So there are 2 people right now with a cancer in the Buckingham Palace. So this couldn't be a prophecy, it's public knowledge. What is prophetic to me today concerning the Buckingham Palace is that this issue of diseases is not natural.
Okay.
Another member of the palace is going to catch up with a strange disease, a terminal illness once again. Is it going to be cancer? I don't know. I did not say I can't tell. I said I don't know. It simply means the Lord has not revealed that to me.
Yes.
And that is going to be something that people are going to be worried about. So we have 2 people right now who are dealing with the cancer at the Buckingham Palace. Very soon, another member of the royal family is going to be diagnosed with a terminal disease, a serious disease once again. And this is going to be a very difficult situation. I would like to say also that King Charles is not going to last long. And this has nothing to do with the cancer that is facing now. It is because what God has decided to do, He has decided to get rid of the British Monarchy. The time is coming when we are not going to have the King of England. We are going to have a prime minister and a president in England. The time is coming. There are several reasons why God is going to abolish the British monarchy. One of the reasons is that it's a bloody, filthy monarchy. It presided over the murder of millions of Africans. And for that, it included African leaders. And that brings me to Zimbabwe. Our liberation movement, our liberation story, our war of independence story is not yet fully known. What we know is not enough.
Okay.
The Royal House of England played a very subtle role in framing what we call the independence of Zimbabwe and the first independent government of Zimbabwe. It played underhand games. Underhand games. I will share with you a secret that those who led the Liberation War already know this, but you don't know it. Don't ask me how I knew this, but this is true as well. Samora Machel, the president of Mozambique, was blackmailed by the Buckingham Palace to force Mugabe to sign the Lancaster House Agreement. Mugabe had been arguing that there are certain elements of that agreement that he did not agree with. He needed them revised. But what the MI6 did, the British intelligence, they threatened Samora Machel by putting bombs in Mozambique. In most of the Mozambique, the bridges along major Mozambican roads. And they said to Samora Machel, tell Mugabe that sign this agreement or I'm going to chase all your army from Mozambique. I don't want the Zimbabwean army brigades and battalions training and harbored in my country anymore. It's taxing my progress and my development. So Mugabe and his team could not continue to fight without a base.
Okay.
So some of the sticky and points in the Lancaster House Agreement that do not make sense, it is not because the liberation leaders did not see that they had betrayed the cause of the armed struggle. It was because there was so much pressure as well. And one of those issues was the issue of land. The willing buyer, willing seller agreement is at best a betrayal of the armed struggle. Why did Mugabe and his fellow leaders sign an agreement that the Zimbabwean black African government is going to buy land from the white settlers who stole it from us? Don't tell me that the palace had guaranteed Mugabe that they will give him money to buy that land from the white farmers. Why couldn't the palace pay its own farmers? Why did we need to be brokers of that a surrogate deal? There was no wisdom in the willing buyer, willing seller agreement. But my point is the comrades knew it.
Okay.
They negotiated with one of their hands twisted behind them by the Buckingham Palace. They did the devil's bidding. It's an example of the underhand deals that the Buckingham Palace did. That is one of the reasons why Africa has not developed to its full potential to this day. The Buckingham Palace is the midwife of the failure of Africa. Buckingham Palace ndiye nyamukuta wekukundikana kweAfrica. Who authored the assassination of Patrice Lumumba? Who authored that? Don't tell me the Queen was not aware. Was she not the head of the Commonwealth? She knew that. So the prophecy is there's going to be another terminal disease in the Buckingham Palace, and the prophecy is the Lord is going to do away with the royal governance structure of the United Kingdom. There is a day coming, not soon, some many years perhaps from now. We are not going to have the King of England anymore. If he is going to remain, all the member states of the Commonwealth are going to pull out, including Northern Ireland, including Scotland. They are going to pull out. They are tired of the parasitic nature of the Buckingham Palace. So Africa should not have anything to do with the Buckingham Palace. The Buckingham Palace stole so much from Africa.
Yes.
There's nothing to admire there.
Yes.
But we are happy God is intervening to dissolve this vampire that stole so much from Africa. How many heads of African leaders are stored in Britain right now? Musoro wambianyanda wakaenda ku England. Do you think the Queen is not the one who orchestrated that? Charles was beheaded in Harare. Her head was flown to England. A few months ago, the tooth of Patrice Lumumba was buried in DRC a few months ago. They dissolved his whole body and only preserved one tooth. How can DRC receive a tooth from the Belgian government without any reparations whatsoever? Mobutu Sese conspired with France and Belgium to assassinate Patrice Lumumba, and they kept his tooth in Belgium until a few months ago. Can you imagine a government openly declaring and confessing, we assassinated your president many years ago. We dissolved his body in acid. The assassinator, the assassin, he preserved a tooth. Muguva ra Patrice Lumumba izvezvi munongori nezino chete. A pan-Africanist. And the DRC government does not demand that Belgium pays for its sins for assassinating an African president. They did confess. Belgium yakabvuma tisu takauraya Patrice Lumumba. They did. And they buried him. Now tell me that this outgoing DRC president didn't receive anything from the Belgian government for receiving the tooth of his predecessor quietly. Kuisa tooth zino mukasket so nyika yese kwakuita mariro kana wana akabvunza kuti hatichada kuona embassy yeBelgium muno. Let Belgium pay thousands and millions of dollars for the role that it has played. Huh?
Yeah.
What happened to Sankara? Thomas Sankara? Was he not assassinated? We know these things. We are not African preachers which just read the Bible. It is incumbent upon us to know the history of Africa as well, so that when God awakens us to the true gospel, we also understand our rightful position in the history of the world and in the politics of the world. May God protect this captain in Burkina Faso. What is his name? The Burkina Faso president. Pastor, do you still remember his name?
I don't remember his name.
Believers, tell me his name. I'm forgetting the name of this president who took over from this rogue a junta that had staged a coup against a dictator. The new Burkina Faso president, Ebrahim Traore, thank you. Thank you, Brother Precious Mangena. Yes, may God protect Captain Ebrahim Traore. The Lord is starting to do great things. He is facing a lot of crocodiles around him. Until now, as I speak right now, God is going to expose another attempt at his life. He has survived so many attempts at assassinations through some of the members of his military who are being paid millions of dollars by France to kill him because of the position that he has taken. We are going to need God to raise so many leaders like Captain Ebrahim Traore.
Yes.
Because our greatest problem is our leaders have sold us out. We need leadership that is not going to be sold for a cheap pittance, but they are going to be saying, our job is to protect the ordinary people of our countries. I can tell you today, that man was raised by God to be a champion to save the people of his country. And another one is rising. Wait and see. Am I not a man of God? Very soon, we are going to talk about another one who is rising, emerging a few months from now, who is going to behave exactly as Ebrahim Traore on another part of Africa. And is going to defy all odds and start to do things afresh. And we are going to say, wow, what is God doing? God has remembered us once for all. May God bless the people of Burkina Faso, because for the first time, they are uniting towards one thing, building their nation, and doing it themselves, and not pinning their hopes on a former colonizer, like what the predecessors were doing. How can France, that is stealing from you, be the same country that you look up to develop your country? It can never happen.
No.
It can never happen.
No.
Now, coming back to Zimbabwe, before we do a tete-a-tete, it's a prophetic utterance. It addresses a lot of issues. We are going to continue to praying for Captain Ebrahim Traore, because his struggles are not yet over. Now, let us all pray, those who love progress in Africa. Let us all pray that he can last a full presidential term. That's a mountain you climb that he must go through. He has got a lot of enemies that are close by and whose interests are at seizing an opportunity to just parade themselves as the head of state. But their interests have nothing to do with the people that are suffering in the streets. Let us hope that we are also going to see such like-minded leaders coming together. Because one of our problems in Africa is that our African leaders themselves, they don't come together to join hands to building Africa. When they see each other, they join hands to help each other steal from Africa and oppress their people. Dictators are the ones which can unite, but progressive leaders struggle to unite. May we pray that Ebrahim Traore will find like-minded leaders to work with, because building a country is not possible when you don't join hands with your neighbors. There are geopolitical issues involved that need to be considered as well. Right. I read Acts chapter 27.
Yes.
And I said Pastor Chuma should remind me
Of verse 21.
of verse 21. I wanted to do so that I could speak on Zimbabwe again. Zimbabwe is my country, and I will not stop talking about Zimbabwe. Yes.
But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, you should have hearkened unto me,
Says you should have listened to me.
and not have loosed from Crete,
You should not have left Crete.
and to have gained this harm and loss.
And I asked Pastor Erengu and I said, what do you say about such a scripture where the apostle said, the voyage gained harm and the voyagers gained loss? How can loss be a gain? What kind of language is this? The language is full of contempt. The language is full of sarcasm. The language is full of disapproval. Since you claim to know everything, where are you now? That was Paul's language.
Right.
Vakuru, dai makanga manditeerera, musina kubva paKriti, mungadai musina kutambudzika zvakadai, nekurasikirwa zvakadai, nekukuvadzwa zvakadai. In 2017, I warned and said, Zimbabwe, the coming in of the Mnangagwa regime is not a turnover into a new leaf moment for Zimbabwe. it's a dark moment. The day the coup was done,
Yes.
and the people were marching and celebrating in the streets, I was preaching on First Street. I never joined those who were marching. The Lord said, don't dare join this march. These people don't know what they are marching about. Go and tell them. And I said, this new regime is not going to improve the Zimbabwean situation. It's going to get worse. And I cited so many things. I said the manner in which they removed Mr. Mugabe was not approved by God. That's what I said. They used the people in the streets to show the international community that Mugabe was removed by public disapproval. But Mugabe was removed by a military coup. He was under house arrest. And that coup was not bloodless. People died in that coup. And so many people do not want to admit that. I also said the other reason why they are not going to turn around the fortunes of Zimbabwe, it is because they are bloodthirsty. They love to kill. And I said for things to get better for them, we actually need a cleansing process and a healing process in our nation. So many families have tears running down their cheeks every day. They have lost a father, a sister, a mother, a daughter, a son through political violence, strategically planned and strategically executed by the ruling party. The people who did those planning are the ones that are in the executive right now. And this is why everything that they touch, it dies. They have cursed hands. I said it. I said, Mr. Mnangagwa's hands are cursed. If he touches a newborn baby, the newborn baby will die. If he touches an old man, the old man will die. His hands are cursed. He has presided over the killing of his own people. A leader is a shepherd. The people are your sheep. You can't be a shepherd who kills every sheep that behaves in a nonsensical way in your opinion. I don't like this sheep, kill it. This sheep doesn't talk like other sheep, kill it. That one is always a restless, kill it. A shepherd does not kill misbehaving sheep. No, you don't. So he became a president of the very people that he was killing for the past 37 years. And when it matters, when it comes to blood, it matters. Blood matters, my brethren. Zimbabweans, blood matters. Ropa rine basa mfunge. Hazvina mhosva kuti munhu makamisira mushonga wepoison mutii kana kuti makamutsika nemotikari kana makamufura nepfuti. Panofa munhu pega pega Mwari anenge akapatarisa. There is one thing that God will never turn a blind eye on. It's the murder of innocent people. There is nothing you can do. You can do as many prayer breakfast meetings with the rogue pastors and the rogue ministers of religion. It will never work. Don't shed innocent blood. If you want to lead the people, it will never work for you. But do they listen? They don't. They branded me an enemy of the state. They started hunting me. They tried several times to kill me. And I survived several assassination attempts. As I speak now, I have metals in my body because the government of Zimbabwe tried to kill me. Where are we now? Where are we now? We now have a new currency called ZIG. from the RTGS currency. We had a currency that was called RTGS. And yet we had another currency called bond note. 3 currencies in one era, in Mnangagwa's era. We have 3 types of Zimbabwean currencies. The first one was called bond note. The second one was the RTGS. This time, we have a ZiG. And what do they say? They say the new currency, $1 of the ZiG currency is worth more than $2,000 of the RTGS currency. How can a central bank print different currencies for the same state with different exchange rates? How can we have an exchange rate for a Zimbabwean currency? One RTGS versus one ZiG currency. That's embarrassment. And listen to me. What is more embarrassing is until today, not even the finance minister, nor the president, nor the central bank governor has admitted that their fiscal or their monetary policies have failed. The introduction of the ZiG currency is an indirect admission of monetary policy and currency failures. It's a failure. There is no other explanation. Why are you replacing the RTGS with the ZiG currency? It doesn't. So what the Zimbabwean government is doing is that each time they fail to quell economic crisis, they come up with a new currency. It's like a woman who, after breaking up with every boyfriend, she changes her name. She was Rhoda when she was dating Prince. After their breakup with the Prince, she changes her name. My name is now Queen. And she dates John. After a breakup with John, she changes her name. My name is now Mary. Madam, your name is not the problem. No. Your character is the problem.
Yes.
You can change makeup, you can change your dresses, you can change your names. It will never improve your character. Now, my point as a man of God is that all hope is not entirely lost.
Amen.
They can start afresh, these guys, and say, look, let us do things differently. I want in October and August 2022, I want in January 2023, I said, don't do elections, it's a waste of money. Build hospitals instead. There's nothing that is going to change. These guys have already lost the elections. They've stolen the elections already. They've already done a lot of preparations to make sure they tilt the electoral process to their favor. The opposition leaders, as arrogant as they always are, they disobeyed, they never listened. Just like the centurion in Acts 27. They said, this thing is ours. We know what we are doing. God is in it. It's embarrassing now. They are going to form a new movement with a new color. They are going to have a blue color now. Yellow was dumped. They now have blue. Next time they are going to start another one with a black color. Zvikuitwa nezanu nezvikuitwa naChamisa zvakafanana. Zanu rikakundikana kurana economy, print a new currency with a new name. Opposition ikafoira politics, inochinja color, yochinja zita. Kunge vanhu vakazvarwa namai vamwe. From MDC to MDC Alliance to Triple C, from red to yellow, now they have a blue color. These ones, they started with a bond note, they have an RTGS. Now we are in the ZiG currency mode. It's embarrassing. But I said it now, and that's why I asked the pastor to read Acts 27, verse 21b again. Pastor, could you read it again?
Says, You should have hearkened unto me.
Let's end there. Did I not say it?
You said it.
Says, you should have listened to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Huh? You should have listened to me. Hey, I know I'm very small in your eyes. But who is going to laugh the loudest now? I asked you last time. When they don't take heed to the warning and the danger happens, does the prophet celebrate? I don't. I don't celebrate that our economy has plunged into new abysmal levels of uselessness and turmoil and disorder and stagnation. I don't celebrate. It is my desire to see things working in Zimbabwe. I want to see people visiting hospitals that are working. I want to see parents being able to afford school fees, which they can't nowadays. I want to see people buying commodities at fair standard prices. It is only in Zimbabwe that a 2-liter bottle of Mazoe costs $5. 2 liters of drink in other countries, it's $1 something, $2 something at most. Yes. $5 to buy a concentrate of a 2-liter bottle of drink. It's embarrassing. They have failed. They have failed. They have failed. Mr. Makandiwa, he said, Mr. Mnangagwa is doing a wonderful job in bringing back our economy. Of course, Mr. Makandiwa cannot comment on these things. He is not only a spiritual empty soul, he is also an empty head. He doesn't know the economic indicators that are used to analyze whether the functions of an economy are on the negative or on the positive side. You have to look at the balance of payment. We are importing more than we are exporting. That is not a positive indication of progress of an economy. You have to look at the exchange rate. You have to look at the per capita income of the economy, the ordinary citizen. You have to look at the standard of living. You have to look at the minimum wage. You have to look at how much, what is the fraction of the annual budget dedicated to infrastructural development. Our budget is spent more on the wage bill than on capital projects. That's not progress in an economy. Yes. This is basic economics. But from a spiritual side, says, you should have listened to me. The prophetic utterance concerning Zimbabwe right now, I want you to listen to me carefully. Four or 5 years ago, I warned and said, things are going to get darker and darker. Things are going to go out of hand. Prices are going to skyrocket, and the families are going to fail to provide food for themselves. And the jobs are going to be lost heavily. And some are going to relocate back to the rural areas. Everything that I said has happened already. The point of today's prophetic utterance is that whilst everything is happening like this, I gave a prophecy about 8 or so years ago. It's 8 or so years ago when I spoke about an apple that was rotten inside until it broke. And I said, everyone wanted to hold it, to touch it and say, I'm going to deal with this apple. But a voice said to me, this apple, no one is going to be able to control it. No one is going to be able to take it and to put it into order. Things are going to happen from inside this apple. And I want to say to you now, as much as organized as these guys are, you are going to be surprised by two things. You are going to be surprised by a turnaround. there is someone who is going to do a turnaround that nobody ever anticipated. Someone who is going to say, I was part of these people, but for now I am tired.
Amen.
I want to tell you what we have done wrong, and I want to be part of the solution. And that turnaround is going to be prominent because that person is playing a pivotal role today in the government of Zimbabwe right now. Someone is going to walk away and say, no, I can't take it anymore. We are destroying the nation. We are making money. Our families are living large, but the people are suffering. I want to do something right. That turnaround is going to cause a lot of turmoil within the people that have worked together today. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Someone is going to come out clean and say, I messed up. I participated in the mutilation of the economy of Zimbabwe. We violated people's rights every day, but I'm tired. If I'm going to be killed, I have to say the truth at least before I die. Then the second incident that is going to happen, there is going to be an exposure of a shady deal that happened that betrayed the struggle for proper political independence, which has not yet been attained in Zimbabwe as we speak now. There's going to be an exposure. There's going to be someone who is going to say there's a transaction that was done. So and so and so were involved. And my warning in this prophetic utterance is that opposition figures are going to be fingered in that expose.
Okay.
People that people hoped with or hoped on for political freedom, for a better Zimbabwe, their names are going to be fingered. And some people are going to be in denial to their graves. They are going to say they are framing him, they are framing her. But it will be the truth. A betrayal of the struggle where someone receives money and he lies to the people that is representing an idea when he no longer represents that idea. He is now a puppet of the ruling party, but the people are not aware. This is something that happened behind closed doors. It will come out. It will come out. The information will come out gradually, but eventually everything will come out in the open. It will come out. All right. So these are some of the utterances I wanted to share with you. Men of God, where are we going? As far as where we are now, we are in 2024 in Zimbabwe. I don't see a reprieve in the short side. As we speak right now, I don't see things changing this year or next year. I don't see that. That's the shortest term I can see. I don't see anything changing. What I rather heard as a voice, it said to me, what is wrong with the people of Zimbabwe is that they don't feel for each other. When someone is being harassed, when someone is being attacked, when someone is being abducted, killed, violated, sexually abused, the society in Zimbabwe turns a blind eye. It's one man for himself, God for us all. So what God has decided to do, He has decided to use this rogue government that a significant percentage of our people, each one receives a fair share of their own wounds. And the pain is going to unite us. Political ideologies will not unite Zimbabweans. Religious ideologies will not unite Zimbabweans. No. But pain shall eventually unite Zimbabweans. This time we hear that the government is destroying people's homes, saying that they are illegal settlers. A responsible government does not do that. People are being evicted to create space for the Chinese mines and mining companies to exploit resources in villages where people have been living for centuries. The government doesn't care. What God has decided to do is we are all going to be victimized until one day there are few left who are not victimized. And the pain is going to be the uniting factor. Our greatest weakness as a people is that we lack love for one another. Zimbabweans are the most selfish and self-serving and self-hating people. We hate ourselves and we hate ourselves at the same time.
Yes.
So, if there is any prophecy of peace and prosperity that you have received, I am sorry, I am a bearer of bad news. I don't see prosperity in the short-coming future. What I see is more victimization, more sorrow, more pain. People are going to lose properties. Properties are going to be lost because of politically motivated agendas. People are going to lose jobs because companies will continue to shut down until everybody says, what do we have left? Nothing. Let's now claim back our true position in the society. The government of Zimbabwe is the boss. The people of Zimbabwe are the servants. That's the simplest definition of a dictatorship. A proper leadership is when the president and his government are servants of the people. If you don't know this, go and read a book called A Man of the People. I think it was written by Chinua Achebe. It's a very simple book. You can understand this very simply. So as long as we acknowledge and we receive and we take this position that we are servants, and that's why we call ministers chef. Unosangana na minister kuti makadii chef. Iwe ndiwe chef kuna minister. Minister akatoya akatsvaga basa kwauri. Ukampa basa rekuti atungamirire hurumende yako on your behalf. But now wakusangana na MP, wakumuti chef. Ukusangana na minister, urikumuti chef. Ukusangana na president, urikuvati chef. President havasi chef vako. Iwe ndiwe chef wa president. He works for you. That's a proper democratic institution. Zimbabwe is not. Our democracy is a Ponzi scheme. Are we going to wake up? Yes. Are we going to wake up this year? No. Are we going to wake up next year? No. We are not going to wake up in the next 2 years. We are going to continue suffering. But the light is no longer as far away as it was 5 years ago. Prayer will not change these days. Try to do it, I'll be here. If you hear God more than I do, I will repent on that particular day. There's nothing that is coming in the next 2 years. So, kumba kwenyi mimi, kuchatoda kuti mutange mamboirirana mese, kuti our biggest problem is this government in power. Kana msati maakuirirana izvozvo, ndiyo madetsa acho iwayo. Ndiyo madetsa kuti zvinhu vichanaka rini. All right. So far and so much about the prophetic utterances. Take note of what I've said. I am a man of God.
Amen.
I could have spoken about the money that is being given and spread around like confetti by Wikine Uchivayo in these vehicles that is donating I could have said something about it, but I am not going to speak now. I'm going to speak at the appropriate time. So far, there's nothing that has happened which I have not said before. I'm going to speak when there's something important in relation to what is happening. So this one is out of the conversation today. I was just hinting you that I'm speaking about it very soon. I will speak about it very soon. May God bless us. May God give us courage. May God give us strength to live our lives as responsibly as possible under these difficult circumstances. I feel for the people of Zimbabwe. They are going through untold suffering. They are my people. The prices are going high every day. The school fees are going high every day. And yet the earnings of the people are not increasing.
Yes.
And the government continues to squeeze the people by coming up with spurious tax issues and tax brackets and tax laws and tax statutory instruments to take money from an already suffocated pocket from the ordinary people. My words to you as a man of God, if you are a Zimbabwean, try to practice a very, very high disciplined culture of austerity measures in your own family. Make sure you prioritize the most important aspects of life. To those who are working and they can't make ends meet, my advice is, well, at least you are earning less than enough. Focus rather on improving your employability. Increase your education. These jobs you are working are useless because you can't even build a house with your income. But if you take this time, this sabbatical, this economic crisis, to add value to your education, to your credentials, when things get better, you are going to have better opportunities in life. To those who are relocating to the diaspora, my advice is that you are going against the wind. You are running against the direction of the wind. This is a proverb. When the time comes, you shall realize I was true. Running away from your home when it catches fire is not wisdom. It's not just cowardice. It's an abdication of family duty. It's our duty to fix our country and not to run away. We must find a way to come back home, wherever we are. Unless it became an existential threat. Of course, you can't remain when you are facing a threat to your own life. Because for you to contribute to building your country, you have to be alive first. So we can't tell you to remain if it was threatening your life. But if it was your economic situation, I want to encourage us to be innovative, to be able to adapt to the situation, and never to leave our motherland in the hands of a vampire government, hoping that a miracle will happen to solve the problems for us in our absence. We are going to walk back into a Garden of Eden, whose foundations we were not involved in its building. That's a fairy tale. We mustn't enjoy fairy tales. We are now adults and we are facing a real problem. Unless your life was on the line, leaving the country is not the best thing. Our children and our children's children are going to look at our graves and admire us. They never ran. They stayed at home. They played a contributing factor and part in fixing the problem. And now our situation is better. Our country is better. When Germany suffered defeat in the First World War, the Germans did not look for jobs in the greener pastures. They stayed in Germany. They committed to put their hands on the deck, and they all contributed in building Germany to what it is now, one of the greatest economies in terms of stability in the world. It was done by the Germans. They never left to go to America. They said, we are Germans. We will live in Germany. Our country has been destroyed by the war. We are going to build it again. It's our job to build our country. No one will do it for us. No one is going to challenge an irresponsible government on our behalf. We are going to do it, but it's just going to be at the right time. We have to speak the same language first. Until everyone has a wound, we are going to remain selfish like this, buying a Rolls Royce in a country that does not have a proper road, until the time when all roads have been destroyed. And we are facing and glaring at our own misery and say, right, like a warthog, there's nowhere else to run. Let's face the dogs and let's build our country again. These are the words that I wanted to share with us. We have to be strong. We have to be prayerful. We have to find one another. We have to start to feel for each other. We have to start to love one another. We have to start to unite, to do things together as countrymen and countrywomen. That is required for our country to recover. Our selfishness is of a world record. We don't care for each other at all. At all. If we cared for each other, when I saw the burial of Mo Blessing Ali a few days ago, the whole country should have attended that funeral. And I told you before, that is an indictment on the whole nation. We have carried another case once again. Innocent blood was shed and nothing happened. The country has been cursed once again. The blood of Mo Blessing Ali is upon every one of us, every Zimbabwean. As you walk today and tomorrow, you must remember the blood of Mo Blessing Ali is upon your shoulder today. Go to church and tell yourselves that you were not there when she was murdered. And you are going to realize one day when you learn the doctrine of Christ, that when a man is murdered and the society does not confront the murderer, the whole nation is cursed by God. Achisolvwe nemaprayers vandiri kutaura izvi, zvinotozoda kuti kana vanhu vakuda kubatsirwa, when you want to listen to us, the men of God, we will tell you how the nation can be cleansed from such many cases. When a nation is cursed because of innocent blood, my dear, look at how many minerals Zimbabwe has and how miserable our economy is. Don't you see that the contrast is amazing? Mama, zvicherwa zvatinazvo senyika neurombo hwenyika yedu zvinotoshamisa kuti nyika yedu haina maroads, kuparira nyatuko hakuna mushonga. Zvinoshaika sei? Madiamonds tinawo, gold tinaro, maemeralds tinawo, aluminium tinayo, lithium tinayo, uranium chaiyo tinayo muZimbabwe. Asati yatanga kumainwa bedzi. Zvinoitika sei? It's a case. Innocent blood, innocent blood, innocent blood. One day, we shall realize that we have to understand how to protect one another as a nation. Doesn't matter which church you belong to, which party you belong to. Politicians should not divide us until we kill one another. That's not acceptable in the eyes of God. And this is one of the problems that we have. So, we give these prophecies and utterances to guide believers. When you are planning, plan with this in mind. When you are praying, pray with this in mind. Remember, I told you there's nothing changing, nothing different coming out of the 23 August 2023 elections. And I said, don't waste your time hoping that something will change. Work your life as if there's no election at all happening. And those who listened to me, Pastor, they were not stressed with the election results. That's the beauty of listening to the men of God. Pastor, before we go into a tete-a-tete, let's listen again to Acts 27, verse 21b. Start from the beginning.
But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and says, you should have hearkened unto me and not have loosed from Crete and to have gained this harm and loss.
You shouldn't have gained this harm and gained this loss. This is what I'm saying. Despite all the horror I have gone through in the hands of our current government, I'm still here as a man of God, and I'm still available to play a part in directing them and advising them on how to come out of this mud. They won't come out on their own. They will need guidance. I can direct them. There are corrections that can be made, and those corrections can be made. It's possible. Even if they are to call me today, I will come and I will meet with them. And I will tell them, these are your areas. You should have listened to me in 2017. They should have called me and said, why are you saying our government will not achieve anything for the people? We are the Second Republic in the first 100 days. And I told you, nothing will come out of their 100 days. Do you think they still remember their 100 days promises? They forgot now. I told you. You should have listened to me. My issue was simple. Of all their mistakes, what God was angered with was blood. That was the church's interest. Instead of listening to me, they started shedding more blood. They continued shedding blood. And right now, we have the blood of More Blessing Ali and that bishop they murdered in Mavuku. These are the recent attacks and others that I may not know about right now. This new currency is an embarrassment on central banking standards. This new governor, I feel pity for him. He's like Abner, the army general of Saul, the son of Kish. What can you do when you are being led by somebody who is cursed? Unoita sei? Nongo chingoti alright chef rega ndikuita zvamataura. Kuti zvinoshanda. Amen rega itiona. It's embarrassing. I feel pity for this new governor. I don't know what motivated him to join such a cursed chariot. It's like joining Pharaoh of Egypt pursuing the nation of Israel to the Red Sea. It's the beginning of your own end. He shouldn't have started or joined this. But of course, there are packages involved. Let him feast. It's his time to eat.
Okay.
I can still meet with them if they are honestly desiring to help to change the situation. They can salvage their legacies. Because we don't have them for a long time, by the way. They can change the story. They made a mistake in the first 2 terms of their office, but something changed, and they started to do things better. But they are not the type that listens. Type yavo manje. Zvekutoudzwa ndo zvaisingade. Yakafanana na Sauro. Saka tese tinoziva maperero aSauro. Saka ndo zvazvichangoita. Hakuna akamborwa naMwari akakunda. Ungagona hako kuita president, asi vanhu havasi vako ndevaMwari. Hakuna munhu akasika munhu panyika panapa. Kuita president hakukupe license rekuti chero wawada munhu unouraya. hazvimbofa zvakaitika Mwari akaramba akanyarara. God will surely punish the wicked before he dies. I know he is faithful. Let's wait and see. If we are not alive to see it happening, those that live will live to tell the story. All right, brethren, because we have spent almost 3 hours on these prophetic utterances, let's do a break and then we'll come back to the message. Instead of a tete-a-tete, we are going to do a break and we'll come back. Please don't go. Speak to each other on these matters. Put them in writing and let's see who lives to see it happening. Whatever God says is what happens. Whatever God has not said will not happen. Prophecies are not difficult to verify. Their time will come and they will be verified. If not by events, they will be verified by time. And so there's no need to argue with the prophet. You just say, amen. May what God says come to pass.
Yes.
We are going to be here to see it happening. If God has spoken to you indeed. Let's do a short break and come back to the third segment. Thank you so much.